sunshine. Sip from my rainbow, deliciously mango. I think it's a syndrome, got me so windblown. Show me the door, how far can you fall? Freedom in galaxies, mapped out my fantasy.
I'm Sandra Sandy Schneller, and this is Romancing Me Pescatarian Style.
Implode with blessings, blessings for me. This is reality, I live in my dreams.
Hey, this is Sandra Sandy Schneller with you again. What are you eating tonight? We are in the holiday spirit. It is holiday season 2021. Yes, it is. We are doing it up with our shrimp and veggie mascarpone baby cheese sauce. That mascarpone is going to be all intertwined with all the veggies that are the veggies that are organic and those wild caught shrimp. Want to take a look at it? I'll let you take a look at it in a second. I had to get some larger shrimp. Look, these are the bigger ones. And, you know, I was going to get the smaller ones. I initially had the smaller ones, but they were bad after I opened them. And I got them from a reliable fishmonger too, you know. But, so that's why we have the larger ones, but more to eat, right? We have carrots, corn and peas, all organic, baby. Don't forget these mushrooms. You know what these are good for, right? Heart health, helping to prevent cancer, as they say. And those carrots, yeah, we got the carotenoids here. And one thing is good for, everybody knows that eyesight, right? Let's get cooking. Okay, now we have the skillet preheating here. I'm going to add some, actually a tablespoon of avocado oil. And we're going to start out, this is 2 tablespoons. We're just going to use half of this right now. A little bit of it. I won't use too much. So we're just going to saute our shrimp right now, and I'm going to use like just a pat of butter. This is almost a tablespoon of butter here. Let's move this around a bit. And the burner is on like medium high. And I'm going to turn that down. It's like a medium high. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. And remember, we only do our shrimp 2 minutes aside. So I'm going to start adding these because the pan is sizzling with the oil and the butter. These have been sauteing in a teaspoon actually, of Old Bay sauce, seasoning sauce. And that's just to rid the shrimp of that fishy smell. Like I said, you know, I don't like fishy tasting, even though I am a pescatarian. This is going to be delicious. This is one of my go-to sandwiches. You know, I made this sandwich. I discovered the sandwich haphazardly. One day I was traveling via car and a road trip with some family members, and one car I was going to get in, the driver did not, because I wasn't driving, the driver did not want me to get into the vehicle with this bag. It was really smelling. I made these sandwiches for the road trip. And the smell wasn't appealing, so they didn't want me riding in their vehicle. That distance was about a 3-hour ride, and one way, and they didn't want me riding in their vehicle with that smell. So I got into the other vehicle. They said, "Oh, come on in with the food." And lo and behold, that first car really missed out on these sandwiches. And luckily, I remembered at that time, everybody loved the sandwiches, and one person said this should be in a restaurant. You know, so I remembered what the measurements of ingredients were that I put in the meal plan. So I wrote, jotted that down while I was in the vehicle, so I wouldn't forget anything. And voila, this is what we have today. We're going to just start flipping these now. We don't want to overcook them. And I left the tail on only during the cooking process, just to keep the shrimp elongated and they won't shrink up so much. Because I am going to cut these. I'm going to cut them in half only because I was initially aiming to get a medium-sized shrimp, and I told you what happened earlier. But I have the bread here. I'm going to put this in the oven and heat that up a little bit. So I'm going to start removing these from the pan now. And we're going to add the vegetables, all those wonderful, organic, luscious vegetables. So good for the body. You know, I try to always make food that makes sense in keeping your healthy, keeping your body healthy. Okay, now I'm going to add the rest of that avocado oil. This is avocado oil. I'm going to add the rest of that we had in the little bowl here. I'm also going to add the rest of that butter. Now that's about a tablespoon and a half of butter. Let that melt down here. And now you see I'm scraping the bottom of the skillet. I want to get all of that crustiness from the shrimp and mix it in with the avocado oil and butter. And all that flavor is going to be mixed in with our vegetables. So we're first going to add our luscious baby bellas. You know how I love those baby bellas. I really enjoy mushrooms on an overall. But baby bellas I enjoy the most. See all that flavor from the crustiness of the shrimp. Mix all of that in. That's going to be really delicious. We want to make sure we let these cook for about a minute or so, minute and a half, because we want them still flexible, a little bit of pliability to them. We don't want them too limp. Now we're about ready to add our next vegetable, which is we're going to add the carrots. Now I put the carrots in with the corn and peas, and I wasn't thinking when I did that, because the carrots will need to be cooked prior to the corn and peas. So I'm just going to pick that out. And let these two cook together for a couple of minutes. We have so much we want to add here, but it's going to be just a fantastic meal. So we're going to let that cook for a couple of minutes there. Now while that's prepping, let's go on over and take care of these luscious shrimp. Thank you, darlings, for watching. And please like, share, and subscribe right now. Cheers to you. Okay, we have the shrimp here now, so I'm just going to be removing the tail off of all of them, and I'm going to cut them in half. Maybe thirds, we'll see. Here we are, and we're just gonna start cutting these a bit. Actually, we can kind of cut them in thirds. They're so big, they're pretty big shrimp. Okay, we have all the veggies here together. I've added the corn and the peas and the shallots. You can check with me, just like and share. Uh-oh, that was the oven. Just like and share and subscribe, and also just hit me up in my email and you can get this full recipe. It's a very quick to do. I've also added the lemon juice, from the juice of one large lemon, as well as the zest of that lemon too. Now add the burner for the pot for the cheese sauce. I'm also going to just put a little salt and pepper and the vegetable mixture. Just going to toss that in very quickly. So now I'm going to add 4 ounces of heavy cream, and that's organic heavy whipping cream. And as that's happening, we're going to start adding the cheese, the mascarpone cheese, just a little at a time, not a whole lot, because you want it to melt in. Get more of that out. Look at that. It's about a third of it. And do get your whisk out as well, because we're going to whisk the rest of this in, the rest of the remaining cheeses. We're going to add also, we're going to add like 5 cheeses here. We're just going to whisk this around until it all melts. We're going to have that nice and creamy effect. So the next cheese we're going to add is our quattro formaggi. Now this quattro formaggi is a mixture of 4 cheeses. It's Fontina, Provolone, Asiago, and Parmesan. So we're going to add this slowly again. It's not a rushed process. The mascarpone has melted all the way here. Add some more of that. And stir, 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 stir. I'm going to add the rest of that quattro formaggi. Boy, is that creamy. I have the Parmesan here as well. We're not going to add all the Parmesan, just half of it, because we're going to use the rest of it just to garnish the sandwiches with a bit. See, I have half of it left over. I'm going to put that aside. Now, the consistency of your cheese should be to your preference. Now, this is a little bit thick for me, so I'm going to add some of that stock. But before that, I'm going to add the salt, pepper, as well as the no salt seasoning. And I use no salt seasoning often because I don't want the added salt, but I do want the seasonings that it provides, the flavors. So, oh, that smells so delicious. So now I'm going to add a little bit of the stock. As I said, this was stock that I made yesterday or the day before. I had lobster tails, and I have this stock. I had to make stock then, and I have this left over, so I'm just adding it. It's preferred to add stock juices over water, just regular water, because the stock gives you more flavor. I'm going to pour the cheese sauce now over the veggies. Oh, look at that. Scrape all of that good cheese out. And let that cook a little bit. This is what we're adding also to the sandwich. This is broccoli that's shredded. So we're first going to add the broccoli slaw that I said we had. Okay, you add that first because we want that to get a bit soft. So next we add the veggies. This is nice and hot. So let me move the over a little bit. Okay. Look at that. And put some of the cheese, liquid cheese sauce in that. Just fill it up with the cheese. The sauce and the veggies. Now we're going to add some shrimp. There we go. I mean, you can put as much shrimp on as you want. I don't want too much shrimp on that. And then you top it off with a little bit of cheese and some tomato slices. And let me put it on the plate. Look at that sandwich. Ha ha ha! Look at that. Right? Do homage. We're so excited. Wait, look at that first. Shrimp and veggie mascarpone cheese sandwich by Sandra Sandy Schneller. She strikes again. Here you go. Try it. Look at It's falling off. Don't let it all fall off. Wasn't that delicious? Let me try a bite too. You gotta make this. Hit me up. Email me so you can get the full recipe.